Well, congratulations. If you got this far, you're halfway through the book, Lessons from a Church in Zombieland. And I hope that you are thoroughly enjoying all of the stories that I'm telling in this book. It would go without saying in my mind that my wife Tonia actually was the true work and brains and everything behind this whole outfit. She was the one who was doing all of the meals, making things happen, making the kitchen work and getting it to hum. She had it organized to a T. It was incredible, so that when volunteers came in, she had stations with recipes in front of them, and each station would say, okay, go to cupboard one, or she had all the cupboards labeled and all the drawers were labeled with numbers and letters, and like, go to cupboard one and get this pot, go get a knife out of drawer B, and follow this. And so the volunteers loved working there because it was so easy, so much fun. And we found that one of our the people who came down the most frequently and loved doing it were Air Force pilots from Fairchild Air Force Base right outside of town. They would come down with their spouses and they would have a fantastic time putting a meal together in the kitchen and feeding the homeless with us. And they were just one of the many, many groups who would come in and help us out. Tonia made that thing hum. She is not an upfront person. She's a behind the scenes person. She doesn't Don't ever give her a microphone and ask her to talk on a stage. It's not her thing. She doesn't like public accolades. She prefers genuine, heartfelt, person-to-person moments. But she was often the whole energy that made everything happen. All of the stories that I'm telling now were only because she put the meals together. And the meals were something fantastic. She lived by the motto, I wouldn't serve the homeless anything I wouldn't serve my own family. And since we did one meal a week, she could kind of put everything into it since we were the Sunday meal in downtown. And sooner or later, some of the restaurants around town knew what we were doing, so she would get like Parmesan encrusted chicken breast recipes from some of the high end places in Spokane, and she would serve meals like that to the homeless people. And it was phenomenal. And everybody was kind of chipping in and helping, getting supplies and getting different and different recipes, different things that were just tons of fun to do. And she made the whole thing happen. And even now, as I'm posting this, she won't like that I'm putting on YouTube accolades and praise for her, but it needs to be said. And at the very beginning, when this podcast is happening, there's a little blurb at the kind of the front panel on it that I have on my YouTube channel, which is the dedication in the book. I've dedicated this book to her. And so here at the midway point, because there's going to be more stories about Tonia in the upcoming chapters, and she's going to appear a little bit. But this was what I wrote in dedication to her, the whole Lessons from a Church in Zombieland. To my beautiful, steadfast, incredible wife, it's impossible to explain how much you have endured on this journey. I dedicate this book to you, my warrior princess. No matter how deep the fight or overwhelming the challenge, you picked up your sword and shield and entered the battle fearlessly. And I love you. I hope you enjoy the rest of Lessons from a Church in Zombieland.